Hey everybody, welcome back to the IE427 garage. Today we are getting caught up on all of the unfinished business we had from the last video. We have the upper cooling tube to take care of for the radiator. We have some miscellaneous cooling hoses for the thermostat housing and the steam port vent for the radiator. We also have the cool air intake for the throttle body to take care of. We're going to get a temporary solution for filling fuel into the car. And I think I saw that we have the transmission clutch fork cover for the bell housing sitting over on the back of the truck, and that needs to be put on as well. So we'll see if we can knock all those items off our list today and get you guys all caught up on what's going on Michael's Mk3. Hey everybody, nice fall evening here, and I got a little bit of work that I've been doing this evening on the car. I found the two coolant hoses, the one for the steam port, or I don't know, coolant overflow bypass. I give up. But anyways, it's from the surge tank to the radiator, and I think that's just to bleed off any air that gets in the radiator back into the system and let it percolate back out up through the surge tank. And then I also picked up a hose for the surge tank down into the thermostat housing. The 4.6 and on, even in the Coyote, has some weird hose configurations where you have to like pipe in or put hoses in between both sides in order to make everything. I don't know. Anyways, I got that one done. That one actually came out really cool because I was actually able to find a stock hose, one piece, that just fit from the bottom of the coolant tank right down to the thermostat housing. It's pretty awesome. I'm still waiting on the stainless steel tubing, but we're in the holiday season. I don't know when you're watching this video, but we're in the holiday season right now, and so I don't know, sometimes it takes an extra day or so to ship things, and so I'm waiting on that. Hopefully that'll be here tomorrow, and then I'll be able to get that last piece of stainless tubing in and get the coolant system wrapped up and then start filling the system. So let me turn you around here and we will take a look at what I got here, or what I got going here. So what I did is I searched the parts house, O'Reilly, again, shout out to them because they've got the coolest website, in order to find hoses that I've found anyway. I wanted a hose here with a 90 and then a 90 back, towards the driver's side of the car to get everything kind of headed that way. And I figured even if it was short, it would be better to have it look nice here than have a big loop of hose come and then potentially get kinked. So I wanted a pre-molded type hose for this. So I've got this in. I know these clamps aren't everybody's favorite, but for a roadside repair, all you got to do for this one is have a screwdriver. You can, cut the hose shorter, slam it back on there, put the clamp on, and then, you can get to your destination at least. So, sometimes it's just easy to keep it simple, stupid. So this is the pre-molded hose that I found. It comes down here, it swoops under, and then I had to make a transition to just regular tubing because this is how long the hose was. And so I've got an aluminum 3/8 coupling nipple in here with a couple of clamps. And this is actually going to be camouflage because the hood hinge goes right here. And so you're not really going to see this from the top. And then out here where we've got it coming into the side of the radiator, I've got the hose terminated again with the same type of worm type clamp. if I go around to the other side of the car, I can give you a better view of what I've got going for the hose that goes from the surge tank down to the thermostat housing. So what I found is I needed a hose that was 1 inch for this nipple out of the bottom of the surge tank, and I needed 3/4 going in to the thermostat housing. And I wanted a pre-bent 90 for this portion. If this part here would have just been straight, it would have been fine because I would have just kind of curved the pipe up to here. But as it is, I found a hose that had 2 90s, so a 90 up, a 90 over, and then a 90 up again into the surge tank. And I didn't have to cut it. I didn't have to bend it. I mean, it just fit. So that was pretty awesome. So the last thing I'm waiting for right here is this same piece of stainless steel tubing to attach this end of that hose to this end of that hose, and then the coolant hoses will be done. I did get an awesome billet oil cap that doesn't fit. And after researching it, this is a Mr. Gasket. I'm not even going to bother taking it out of the box. It doesn't fit. It's for a Chevy small block. And I don't know why it's listed on Evil Bay as a 5-liter Ford, but after searching it and finding the exact same picture on the Mr. Gasket website, I'm convinced it's for a Chevy. So rather than farting around anymore, while I was at the auto parts store, I got a Stant black plastic cap that looks just better than what we had. And this is an easy thing. If Michael wants to replace this later and a part becomes available, this same cap has been used since 1986 all the way to 2004 for the Ford Mustang, in a V8 configuration anyways. I don't know. It also crosses over to some of the Ford trucks. The dually over there uses the same cap. So if some of this the shipping and supply chain stuff opens up, hopefully it'll be easier to find some of this stuff, because right now it's just some of these specialty parts are just impossible to find. I mean, we've been on Summit, Jegs, eBay, Amazon, Walmart, you name it. We've been on every website we can looking for a nice looking oil cap, and every time we order one that says it's in stock, it turns around right after you order it, it says back ordered. So I've kind of given up. I just wanted something that was going to look nicer than the kind of weathered and haggard one that was in here. The other one worked. It was just kind of beat up and old. And so this one, is new. It's black. It blends in. Done. I think that's going to be it for tonight. I will check back in with you guys tomorrow. I'm hoping to get that stainless steel tubing and get that squared away, and then button up the last few things. I've still got the coil pack drivers just hanging there. I've got those to do. I've got the antenna for the GPS speedometer to kind of wrap up behind the dash, and then program the Holly, and then we should be ready to start it. So cross your fingers. We'll catch up with you guys tomorrow night. Almost forgot. We got a new shifter handle. Michael ordered this from, I think it's Shift Dog, and it's a blue, like Shelby striped shifter knob, and it's pretty cool. I think we put one of these on Joel's Mk3, but I'd have to go back and check. But really cool, and I just didn't want this to go by without anyone seeing it, so there it is. So nice five-speed gear layout on the top of it. It's got the white stripes on the blue. It's going to look awesome when this car is all painted and done. So there you go. All right, next day, we have a couple of deliveries that were made yesterday, I believe, and I picked them up at the office this morning. One of which are these switches that we'll get back to in a second. We got some oil delivered over there. That is for the 25th anniversary car. Both of those are anyways. And then I did get the tubing for the upper coolant hose assembly. And so I went ahead and I cut that to length. I think it ended up being about 9 or 10 inches. I beaded the ends of it so that it'll stay on. I picked up some fresh clamps because I was out of this size, and I got that in place. So the only thing left to do on the cooling system is to fill it. And so I have to make a mental note to get a hold of Michael and have him send some coolant or pick some up and bring it here. I think while I have the beading tool out, beading, B-E-A-D-I-N-G, not beating like we're beating someone, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this tube for the intake squared away. I wanted to get this upper coolant hose in so I could see how much room we were going to have for the air filter that we bought over there. I think it's a K&N. So I'm going to have to pick up clamps for this too because I don't think I have any. So we've got this 4-inch aluminum polished tubing that we're going to cut. We're probably going to cut it about here, and we're probably going to cut it about here. We only need the 45-degree section of it. It was cheaper to buy it in this length than a shorter length. Don't ask me why. And then we have the K&N filter that is about the size of this box. So let's see if I can get this open with one hand. That's a little bit shorter. It's not quite the size of the box, and that should fit on. Oh. Sorry, Michael. That should fit on here, like that. And we will cut that to length. So we got some Mobil 1 oil for the Coyote engine for the 25th anniversary car. Little bit early, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and store it. And I think that owner is going to send some synchro mesh for that's a TKO transmission, for the TKO, and we'll do the same with that stuff. We'll just store it for the time being until we're ready to put it in the car. But I'm going to move on to this next. The other things that we got for the 25th anniversary car are these. These are the genuine GM AC Delco stop and clutch switches. The ones that Factory 5 includes are a little bit hinky. They're somewhat unreliable. So if you remember on the Texas car, I don't know that it made it in any of the videos, not the public videos anyways, we ended up replacing these once the body went on the car. And that sucks. Because, you know, somebody my size, just about 6'2" and 260 pounds, it's not easy to dive headfirst into the footbox of these cars, especially with the steering wheel in the way. So rather than fart around with this later, I just, I kept the part number. I went ahead and had the 25th anniversary car owner order 2 of these switches. One will be for the brake, one will be for the clutch. I don't know that the clutch is actually going to be necessary because I think the Ford control pack has its own clutch safety switch that mounts on the Wilwood pedal assembly, but I'll have to double check in the assembly manual because I think I remember that. So don't quote me yet because I won't know until I actually do it. But I will look that up in the assembly manual just to verify it. But regardless, we'll have an extra switch if we don't use it, and then the owner can hold on to that in case the brake light switch ever fails. So we're going to do that since we have the pedal box assembly out, because those are a hell of a lot easier to get to at this stage of the game than they are when that whole pedal box is in and the body is on, the steering wheel's in the way, the door is in the way, and everything else. So better to replace them now and get it over with. So I'm going to move on to the cold air box / tubing, and I'll bring you guys back when I get it mocked up into place. Alrighty, got this all in place. I had to cut, well, you guys saw how big the pieces were. I think I cut 6 inches off of this side, and I cut about 4.5, 5 inches off of this side here. And it's tight in here. You know, it ain't easy putting one of these 4.6 or Coyote engines in here, the modular Ford motors. They take up a lot of space. So if you remember, we're reutilizing the first part of the Ford elbow because it gets us the breather into the valve cover. It gives us a place to mount our intake air. What is it? Air intake temperature sensor. And so we're taking that, we're putting a coupling on it. This is a 4-inch silicone coupler. And then we've got this 45-degree bend that has just taken us in away from the frame because as you see, we're just outside of the frame right here. So we just needed that little bit of bend to get us back in that direction. And we've got it to where it fits and doesn't run into our cooling tubes. I've got the filter clamped down, but I still need to get 2 clamps for the silicone coupler. We're reusing the Ford clamp there, so that works. So short of some coolant and a couple little miscellaneous wiring things, and we should be ready to fire this engine within the next couple of days. I did get a call from Michael that the upholsterer is ready to get this car in his shop. So the pressure's on now. We've got to get this thing mobile, and we've got to get it to the point where we can put the body on, get the windshield set in place, and get that get the APE hardtop ready to go. So stay tuned. All right, last couple of things I'm going to work on to include in this video are going to be the transmission clutch fork cover. I'm going to go under the car, I'm going to put that on, and then I've got to work on getting a fuel filler neck into the car, and this is probably just going to be temporary. Now I'm going to have the body on the car here within the next week or so, so I may cut the hose to length and get it all squared away, get the spacers all set up and everything that I need for that, so when the body comes back for the final time I don't have to do it then. But we are going to use the donor style parts. So this is the filler neck from a 87 through 93 Ford Mustang. I believe you can even use the 94, 95 SN95 stuff. I think it's still kind of the same. We have gutted a portion of it. So the inside here, this little flapper, we cut it back so that we have direct vent. And then we pulled the portion of it that went through the bottom portion of the tube out. So as it sits, this goes into the side of the tank like this. The ring goes on the end here. There's a spot, there's an indent in the spot to get the ring past. If I can do this with one hand like this. And so the ring will hold the tube in place. And then we're going to be using a piece of hose. I think this is for a 90s S10. It was cheaper to buy this pre-molded hose for an S10 rather than a section of 2-inch hose 2 feet long. Don't ask me why, but I figured I could use the curves in it to my advantage because this doesn't exactly put you in exactly the right spot anyways. So I'm going to work on putting that in temporarily so we can put fuel in this thing and then put this in, and I'll bring you guys back when I'm to that point. So here you go. Cover is on the clutch fork access cover of the transmission. It's I don't know, Tremec uses a standard slotted screw for the back of this, which I guess is okay. It's got a little lock washer, little star washer on it. I've never seen one come off, so I guess it's okay. On the back of a Ford Tremec, like a T5, it's a little 8mm hex head machine screw. So whatever. So that's in, and I'll lower the lift down, and I will take you around to the back to show you what I did for the gas filler neck temporarily. All right, coming around, and here you can see kind of what we got going on. We have the stock piece that we cut. It's cut about here. We beaded the end, and then we've got a piece of 2-inch hose on it right now. I went ahead, and since I had to put the screw in the bottom here, and luckily I have a bunch of these donor style screws, so it's not even a machine screw. It's almost like a wood screw, meaning it's got very coarse threads on it, and it comes to a point. That's what holds this bracket on to keep the filler neck in there. And then I went ahead and I attached a number 12 ground, and then I've got that ground also to the chassis, and then that ground is going to end up going up to and tying onto the Le Mans cap. So it'll go onto the Le Mans cap, onto one of the bolts that stick through it, and that's going to bond or ground the Le Mans cap, so that no static can build up. You're not going to have any sparks when you put a gasoline fill hose at the fueling station onto it and causing a spark. And then of course the tube right now is long, and I've just got it tie wrapped up here so that we can put fuel in the car and hopefully get this thing started within the next week or so. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. We will keep trudging on forward, and I've got to get some last minute things taken care of so that we can get this thing started up. And yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for today. I think we've got everything checked off the list that we wanted to get done. We've just really got to push hard right now to get this thing ready to go out for upholstery and paint, which hopefully will be in the next couple of weeks. We've got to get the thing started, make sure there are no issues with the Holley system, make sure there are no issues with the car running, driving, and braking, and then test fit the body, test fit the windshield, test fit the hardtop, and then we'll be able to get this thing over to Jeff Miller for paint and down to the upholsterer to get the interior put in. And I'm hoping everybody's going to play nice together, and I'm going to have a nice peaceful time during the time that the car's away and be able to work on the 25th anniversary car. So like always, do the like, the share, the subscribe, and all that good stuff. Any questions, comments, put those down in the comments. We'll do our best to get to those and answer them. And until next time, you guys all have a great day.